Hey everyone, it's Siobhan here. My video today is a DIY and it was inspired by a television show called Beowulf, which I just started watching. I'm not really sure how I feel about the show yet, but the headpiece that I am trying to sort of recreate was incredibly stunning on the actress, and it didn't look like it was so hard to do, so I've put it together and I hope you guys will like the video.
For this project you'll need a glue gun and glue sticks, some large snap clips, scissors, a piece of felt in any color you'd like, clear nylon thread and a sewing needle, and of course a series of black feathers. These are actually rooster feathers, not crow, and I got them from an Etsy shop in the UK, which I'll have linked in the description if you're interested. Start by laying out the felt, scissors, and hair clip. You can see that here I used a pencil to trace an oval on the material around the barrette, and I didn't use any particular measurement. Instead, I decided to just feel out the size and shape as I went along. I guess it'll be up to you to settle on what you think is appropriate for your own project. Here I'm just messing around and laying out some of the feathers, just so I can get a feel for which ones I may like best. When you order a bunch like I did, there's always going to be a few that aren't as nice as the others. Once I was comfortable with what I had, I threaded the needle and began to sew each of the feathers onto the felt fastener. To do this, I threaded the needle through both the fabric and the spines of each of the feathers. It wasn't terribly hard to do, but I've lost my thimble and had to use the surface of my table to push the needle through a couple of times. Also, I made sure to secure a whole row first, but then went back and stitched through them a second time just to make sure they were extra secure. Now I'm going for a second tier of feathers. You can probably see why I did the bottom one first, and for this top row I'm doing the same as before, just using the needle and thread to sew each feather onto the felt, not forgetting to puncture the spines while I go along. When I'd first been thinking about this project, I considered using some sort of glue on the feathers, but it looked a little sloppy to me. So the clear nylon hides really well, which is how and why it won out here. One of the last details involves hiding the ends of all the feathers, and actually I think you could probably do this a few ways, including utilizing a piece of nice ribbon, some beads, or buttons. I wanted mine to be completely covered by feathers, so that's what I did. Here I just bent a spare over the top of everything and stitched it. And instead of cutting down the ends, I bent them around the back of the fascinator and secured them too with some thread. The red was still poking through a little bit, so I repeated the steps and used a second spare feather on the top. And when that was in place, I picked at them for a moment or two just to make them look extra spiky. This isn't totally necessary, and I admit I could have done this a bit more neatly, but I cut another piece of felt and hot glued it onto the back of the fascinator. I guess I just wanted a clear surface for the barrette. And that was basically the last step. I used the glue gun and carefully adjusted the snap clip into place.
The actress's hair was styled very simply, and so that's what I'm gonna do. Just sort of taking two sections from either side of my face, and I'm gonna twist them backwards and tie them together at the back of my head. So I'm taking my headpiece and I'm going to just clip it to my little ponytail. You can see that it's a little costumey, but I guess if you were doing some sort of cosplay or maybe you were creating a headpiece for some sort of fun special occasion, this might be something you could do. I hope you guys liked my video and the hair idea and the hair accessory thing, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.